Aloha Marketing, Aloha Hosted Solutions webinar series. We're going to be talking about Aloha Loyalty, Customer Voice, as well as gift card. So with us today, we have Renee White, Shaughnessy Finney, and Bob Cohen, all from NCR, that will be talking about these great solutions with you. Feel free to use the little raise your hand icon if you have questions. We probably are going to hold the questions until the very end of the webinar, though. You can also type them into the chat section in the webinar. So with that, I am going to go ahead and let you guys take it away. Renee, go ahead.
Okay. Yes, so starting today is Bob.
Yes,
my apologies.
I'm ready to go.
Thank you, Bob.
Hey, great. Thanks. As Pat mentioned, we're going to be talking about Aloha's marketing solution, and this is one of my favorite solutions that we have because it's integrated and it addresses all of the most critical needs of growing your business. Next page, if you wouldn't mind, Pat. Second only to getting new business in and the excitement of that and the benefit of getting new business, really, actually more importantly, is creating repeat guests and engaging in new ones, but not just having them come through the door, but engaging them and how to get them to come back and how to get them to choose your establishment over all the other options that they have and the growing number of options that they have all the time. Next slide. So we're wanting to build sales volume, and then we were wanting to retain those people that have come. We also want to be able to get feedback from them and know how they're seeing their experience so that if there are any issues, any ways in which we can improve, we are doing that. And if they're thrilled with how things are going, that they're able to tell as many people as they can and give that personal referral to them. Next. So we want to really understand what makes the customers choose your restaurant, one restaurant, over another these days. Next slide. Most important thing that we have found with our work with restaurants around the world is that customer loyalty is the most difficult thing to maintain, and more so today than ever. Next slide. Here's a quote that you probably can tell me, but this is from the NRA. Repeat customers represent an average of 74% of sales for quick service operators and 71% for fast casual operators. So there's just a huge percentage of business that we're counting on our repeat customers to bring in the door. So here's a few questions to ask, and then I'm going to talk briefly about gift cards, and then we're going to go into loyalty and then customer feedback. So number one is, do you know why your guests are choosing your restaurant over the competition? So not how do you feel about that or what do you feel that, but do you actually know objectively why people are choosing to come to your restaurant? Next question is, how easy or how difficult is it to get your customers to keep coming back to your restaurant? How is it? What are we doing? What can we do to keep them coming back? We know they're going to go out for dinner, go out to lunch a certain number of times per month, and we want them to come to your location as frequently as possible. How can you leverage social media? Are you leveraging social media and allowing your satisfied guests to promote your brand? We all want them to. We all hope they will. We all hope they'll tell their friends about our restaurant. But how can we assure that? What can we do to help them to make that more easy for them? Do you know the profit impact of your satisfied customers and your unsatisfied customers? If you have a customer who walks out the door upset about something or dissatisfied, do you know what that cost is to your restaurant over the next few years? We can help you with that, and you need to know that so you know how important it is, and your team knows how important it is to retain customers to get them to keep coming back. So we can help you with that stuff, and I'm going to talk first about gift cards. So next slide, please, and actually two more slides. NCR stored value. So how does NCR make generating revenues easier? Well, first of all, it's effective marketing. Gift cards are not just a convenience. We know that over 90% of all consumers have either given or received a gift card, and there's no reason why that shouldn't be yours. If you walk into any Publix or Kroger's or Walmart or Target or anything, you'll see big displays at the registers, big displays on the end caps with tons of gift cards for people to select from. Gift cards, which used to be, in the day, seemed to be an uncaring, kind of impersonal gift. That's not the case anymore. People prefer to get gift cards. They enjoy getting gift cards. It's easy to give them. So when people give gift cards for your restaurant, it turns your guests into marketers of your restaurant. And if you can understand the behavior, you can kind of target them to purchase more gift cards more frequently. And then you might even think about offering multiple card types to build additional revenue, different types of cards for different seasons, different events, and that type of thing. Next slide. Aloha stored value is scalable. We call it stored value. When you hear that term, that's interchangeable with gift cards. Aloha gift cards are scalable. You could easily implement it across multiple locations, franchises, between sister restaurants. So it doesn't all have to be with the same concept. It can be across multiple concepts. They're easily deployed. No additional hardware. The software is easily installed remotely, and even if you perhaps have a restaurant or a location that has a different POS, and you haven't perhaps moved it over to Aloha, we have a terminal edition that allows you to actually accept the cards there as well. And then we have multiple settlement tools that automatically transfer, automatically reconcile, and verify your gift cards at your location. So the real thing to know is, number one, they help you to retain business, to grow your business, and also it's completely integrated with Aloha. There's a lot of third-party options with, a processor who offers gift cards, or some third-party, non-integrated loyalty program that offers gift cards. But when you really think about pulling it all together, NCR Aloha stored value gift cards, along with loyalty and customer voice, are an integrated solution that you're able to use to grow your business. Next slide. It'll improve your gift cards will also improve your guest experience. I love them because I give gift cards out for restaurants that I like, that I think other people will like, and oftentimes they haven't been to that restaurant. I give them a gift card, they visit it, they become a regular over there. So I take care of my gift giving. They got a chance to try a new restaurant. The operator gets, them marketed to and sent in on my dime. Gift cards are wonderful. Gift cards are Aloha stored value gift cards support a wide variety of refund types. You could also provide the card balances on the customer receipt. And then we also can provide you a link to your website where customers can go on there and check their balance, as people like to do. I like to do. I have gift cards and I have accounts with different retailers and restaurants. I like to see what my balance is, and we can provide that for you. Next slide. So it's easy to manage too. Gift cards are easy to manage. I was talking with two people yesterday who were thinking about going from paper certificates to gift cards. And they were telling me the whole process of using paper certificates and keeping track of them and security and all that. It's effortless to do NCR Aloha stored value gift cards. It's tightly integrated with the other solutions, with loyalty, with your Aloha system. You're able to analyze. You get the data that you need to make good decisions, the data that you need to analyze how to grow your business and how to market more effectively, what was purchased, what was the average spend, et cetera. It's a terrific tool. And then you're able to monitor your operations very, very closely. You have real-time, enterprise-wide recording capabilities. How many gift cards have been purchased? How many have been redeemed? How many do we have purchased last year during this holiday season? What's our projections for this year? You're able to really analyze and slice and dice that information in ways that help you to make good decisions for your restaurant. So let's go on to the next slide. We're going to talk now about loyalty, and I believe that was my last slide. Take it away.
Thanks, Bob. Um, so from here, I'm going to pick up the final two pieces in the marketing solution that Bob referenced in the beginning. We look at this as sort of a circle graph, if you envision that in your mind. So you have gift certificates as a piece of that, loyalty, and customer voice. And I think Bob mentioned closing the loop. So gift cards being the first step as a way for your customers to share their experience with their friends or colleagues. The gift card brings them into your location. Then loyalty, being the next piece, is a way for you to engage them and keep that customer coming back, rewarding them for their purchases, or maybe even changing their behavior. So we're going to talk about loyalty now and how that works with the Aloha system. Next slide. So you have multiple program options. There are a lot of loyalty programs on the market and a lot of different vendors that can provide loyalty, but some of the things that will make building loyalty in Aloha easier is the fact that you do have multiple program options. We recommend that we keep it simple, but you can choose a program that is the best fit for your business and for your customers. You can reward your guests based on their spend amount, the number of visits, or items that they've purchased. You can randomly reward guests. That's a popular scenario, I think, if you've ever been to like a Panera, where you just go and all of a sudden today I get a cookie. Or you can target a specific group of people with smart rewards. So you can actually be a little more strategic with how you're going to reward people based on some of their buying patterns. Again, going back to this being a marketing solution. You can assign points per item or per dollar for reward accruement. So you really have a lot of flexibility in the software and what it can do. Next slide. So the flexible rewards allow you to customize your rewards that can help you sell more to more customers more often. And one of the ways that we like to talk about this, and Bob brought it up, is the true value of keeping a customer and keeping them coming back is monumental. So if repeat customers represent on average 74% of sales for quick service and 71% for fast casual, if we can create a reward program that maybe targets a high gross margin item, we can see incremental increases in our business very quickly. Or if we want to target a certain day part that is not maybe performing as well as we would like, or we want to drive some additional business, you can create your rewards so that you can change customer behavior and actually influence your business. You can provide a percentage of dollar amount discount on a check at a time of purchase. So for instance, we have a group here in Atlanta where I'm based that they have multiple concepts, and you have your card, and at any of the concepts it's just an automatic 10% off, not including alcohol. So that's just a base percentage that you can do off a dollar amount. You can generate a printed voucher on the receipt for use on a future visit, and you can add value to a guest's stored value card. So when Bob was talking about stored value, you can actually have that integrated with loyalty, so I can add stored value on it and I can have loyalty on it as well. But if for some reason you need to print a voucher, like let's say I've come in and it's time for my reward to be redeemed, I can print that voucher and they can actually use it at a later date. And I can give bonus rewards by increasing value to items during specific times of day. Again, going back to you being able to customize something specifically that fits your needs and drive business to a specific item or day part. You may want to do double points during lunch on Wednesday, or during early evening dinner on Wednesday when it might be a slower period of time, and that's going to incentivize customers to come in. So that enables you to drive that increased traffic and sales. Next. Okay, thank you. So it also creates an effective marketing platform, because you can collect valuable customer data to focus your marketing and social media efforts on. My background is in marketing, so I find this tool incredibly intuitive in the fact that you are getting concrete information and actionable information on your customers and their actual buying patterns. I think Bob mentioned earlier, we oftentimes will sit around and go, well, I think that my loyal customers like this particular item, or this seems to be a favorite. Well, you can actually go in and look at, what your customers are purchasing and group people based on their particular likes. So if you want to target somebody specifically for a beer promotion for Cinco de Mayo, you can certainly, you have that information because it's tied to their receipt. I know who has purchased something in the beer category, so I can get those people out and then target them for marketing. Promote higher margin items to captivate your audience. Again, going back to what I was talking about earlier, you can pick a specific item. Cinco de Mayo is coming up. We want to focus on beer. Maybe we're doing a promotion with our beer distributor. I can go in and not only pull out people that may have purchased beer in the last 30 days to send an email blast to, I can also do double points on my loyalty program if it's legal in your area. I can provide rewards or bonuses for customers for life events like birthdays, anniversaries. These are key elements that I still to this day, every time DSW sends me a birthday with a $5 off, I will use it, even if I haven't been in DSW for a long time. So those are great rewards to have just based on life events. And then integration with your NCR stored value card solution, which enhances the brand value and further drives guest retention. So again, these cards, you can have gift cards or stored value cards, you can have loyalty cards, but they can also have dual purpose. Next slide. So effortless management. I think this is key in an industry where we're doing more with less, but you can basically plan your promotions in advance. You can go into the portal, you can set them up, they can be set to go at a certain time. For instance, if you're going to trigger an event such as a late night promotion or double credit during a certain hours, you can pre-do those, and the software is going to save that. You have the ability to limit the daily use of loyalty cards by needing manager approval, so there's security settings in there. You can control and track the amount of meal discounts employees can receive in a given time frame. We have a lot of customers that use the loyalty program for their employee meal plans, whether it's their employees have a certain card that has a %, but it gives you the reporting as well. And then you have access to reports that track member standings. So you have a lot of mechanisms. There's another piece that's not on here that I also like to mention is your servers don't have to do anything. When it's time for me to have a reward redeemed, the software knows that, and it will automatically apply it to the check. So there's no need for them to hand do anything or add a promo or anything of that nature. It's a very seamless and effortless in the management. Next slide. And customer engagement, this is where, we give you the opportunity to integrate NCR customer voice, which we'll talk about next, allows your guests to provide valuable feedback. So when we talk about closing that loop, you got your gift card, you got them in the door, you got them on loyalty, you're going to incentivize them to keep coming back. Well, now we want to get their opinion. And like Bob was talking about earlier, there's a profit impact to your business, whether, people are happy, not happy, what are the reasons. And so that's a key part of this. So the next piece is you can engage your loyal customers outside of your restaurant through the integration with your restaurant's website. So when we talk about being able to sign up, on your website and be able to have a sign up on Facebook, you can do that through the loyalty program. Next slide. Which brings us to our voice. Next slide. So this is the final piece in the 3 that complete the marketing solution, and this is your customer feedback tool. It's a completely digital platform that customers can complete a short and simple survey that rates their experience in your restaurant. It's based on the Net Promoter Score, where customers rate the likelihood of recommending the restaurant on the basis of a 0 to 10, and then they have the ability to fill in a blank box with whatever the reasoning is, meaning if I'm on the low end, let's say 0 to 6, I'm a detractor, so there's a problem. If I'm a 7 to 8, then I'm going to be a passive. Still not, there may be an issue. And then 9 to 10, I love you, I'm your unpaid marketing team. Either way, any of the 3 buckets, I'm going to be given a blank box so that I can tell you what my real love or my real bad experience was. You don't have to guess. You don't have to give me a checklist to go, was it the bathroom, was it the music, was it the food? I get to tell you. So you can manage your existing customer base by following up with identified passives, those who rated the 7 to 8, or those detractors who rated 6 or below. So you get a dashboard that you're able to see what their comments were, what their contact information is, and you can follow up immediately to turn that around. So you know what the profit impact is of having a passive and detractor and what that effect on your business is monetarily, and you can address it immediately. Next slide. So your business insights. You get to view this business at risk, the customers, your leads, your recommendations, your response rates, all from a portal that you can see on this slide that you have access to on your computer. So you can track the exact dollar amount associated with your business, both at risk and newly acquired. What that means is we'll associate a customer lifetime value, which is the number of times the customer comes in times the average dollar spent, and that's what they represent to you. So if they're a detractor or passive, that's money at risk, and you can see that clearly on your dashboard when we're talking about profit impact. You can also see from a social media perspective, which I'll cover in just a second, how your unpaid marketing force is going out and spreading the word on LinkedIn and Facebook and Twitter and email, and what that represents, because that's an untapped future dollar bucket. You get to see every comment from every customer to analyze it. It will provide valuable insight across multiple sites or down to the individual restaurant. We actually have one customer who changed their menu based on feedback that was coming on a regular basis from a loyal set of customers. It had to do with how things were bundled on their menu. For whatever reason, everything was a la carte. I believe this was a counter service. They wanted to be able to buy a meal, and it wasn't available. And so the owner actually called the customer after getting the feedback through voice, talked to them, and then made changes to the menu. And I think we all in the industry know how valuable that conversation was, both to the individual and to the restaurant. And that they actually did see a tick up in sales for that particular meal. And any customer, you also get to see your customer demographic data. They're associated with the receipt, so you don't have to worry about what they wrote, like what did they really eat. Because this is all digital, we have all the information on the receipt, the server, the time, the location. You don't have to determine handwriting or anything like that. And it's all provided to you in a very user-friendly dashboard. The next slide. So social media, which I talked about before, we basically allow your 9s and 10s, your promoters, to spread the word through their social media outlets. So your happy customers basically are going to act as an unpaid sales force, leveraging Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, or email. You can include an incentive with this. We see a very large uptick when an incentive is included. So what that means is if I am a 9 or a 10 and I just love your restaurant, and now I can share that with my friends on Facebook, they can actually share an incentive from you as well. So come in and check out my favorite restaurant during happy hour, free appetizer, and they download a coupon to come in and use that. It's not mandatory, but it's certainly something that can drive business. And then you actually on the dashboard can see which one of your loyal customers made recommendations and then who claimed that incentive, because they have to give their email. So you can see the snowball effect that's going on with this very viral virtual voice tool. So next slide. So enhanced marketing, obviously there's an opportunity to enhance your brand value and further drive guest retention. It integrates with the NCR loyalty to enable better identification of loyal customers. I'll pause right here for a second and say that, I think all of us on the call would highly recommend a best practice that you get a loyalty plan up and running before you implement customer voice. The platform does allow for comments to be accepted both if you have a loyalty plan or on a receipt functionality, but we see a higher rate of return with your loyalty plan. So the difference is my loyal customers have given me the profile information, maybe an email, my phone number. So that voice integration happens automatically. So I come in, I dine, I swipe, they attach my card to my receipt. Then you set it up so that every third visit, once a month, however, I get an email, and it's personalized, that says, Shaughnessy, thank you for dining at my establishment. Would love to get your feedback on a scale of 0 to 10. How likely are you to recommend us to a friend or colleague? and it's that simple. And your loyal customers are being proactive. You don't know if they had a good, bad, or indifferent experience. You're just asking them for their opinion. You're creating that relationship. If I don't have a loyalty plan, or I'm not a loyalty member, you can put it on the bottom of the receipt. Your percent redemption is going to be, or feedback is going to be a lot lower, but you do have the opportunity to do both. So you collect valuable customer data to focus your marketing and social media efforts on. You know, we're talking about loyalty. I'm getting your dining information, and then when I add voice, I'm actually getting your opinion as well. So going back to the analogy of the restaurateur who changed their menu, there are a lot of things that your customers will tell you when given the opportunity. And then the surveys I talked about can be configured through your loyalty. Mobile pay is another product that we have that it can be configured through. Our online ordering, voice can be integrated to. So there's a lot of different ways for voice to become a part of your brand and integrated with your Aloha system. And then finally, it's going to be the mobile application. So you saw the dashboard a little earlier when I was talking about where you're going to get this information and how your managers are going to be able to act on it. Well, there's a mobile version as well. And so this gives you real-time feedback and the ability to look at your server performance, look at your business at risk, look at your survey responses, and then actually call or email the customer directly from the application. So you're cutting down the time that somebody gets to stew on a bad experience and allowing you to address it right away through the mobile application of voice. You know, in closing, for my section of this, what I would say is, you know, we as in the industry have gotten to a point with social media where a customer really has to be over the top mad before they will stop and grab a manager to tell them what was wrong. They would rather leave the restaurant and either vent on their Facebook page or, you know, maybe not recommend you to some friends. Voice has given us the opportunity to get ahead of the customer experience. And I'm gonna survey you. I don't know what your experience was, so I want to know what everybody thinks. And it really gives us the opportunity to get feedback from people that are happy, people that are in between, and the people that are mad, maybe not totally mad, or just irate. But we got to make sure we follow up on it, and that's why we give you the tools, both desktop and mobile, to be able to address it very quickly. So thank you. That's my part. I think Renee's going to take it from here.
I am, yes. And if you don't mind, I am very passionate about customer voice. So I come from the marketing background as well, and I just want to add a couple more things to it, if you don't mind, Shaughnessy. So, and you kind of covered this in a way, but you know, I think another thing customer voice does is it gives the customer an outlet versus posting an unflattering review on Yelp or Urban Spoon. So you're keeping that stuff in-house. And as Shaughnessy said, if it's a positive comment, yeah, they can tell the world on their Facebook page or their Twitter or whatever. But again, keeping that in-house versus having to go try to monitor the internet to see what people are posting, whether it be a disgruntled employee or whatever, can really add to that. Also, you know, the pulse piece that Shaughnessy mentioned, I've heard from many customers has added a whole new element to being able to really keep up on that customer feedback. The portal is great. There's a lot of great information for that analytical person, and in fact, you can even take it down to server performance and see how your servers are being rated, which is a great tool. But also you get a daily email that is just really easy to just kind of, you know, breeze through. And again, it's got the customer contact information too. So some people like to have the mobile piece in their hand. Some people are going to want to go to that portal and sift through and slice and dice the information. And then there's maybe an operations guy who just wants to look at the feedback from the previous day. So I think that tool offers a lot of different ways for people to view it in their own time and how they like to view information, because, you know, that's not the only thing they're paying attention to, of course. So anyway, so on to my piece of the presentation. Our technology enables stronger customer connections, and how does this benefit you? So what you've heard from Bob and from Shaughnessy is basically like what we like to refer to as the three-legged stool. First of all, the first one is gift cards, where a guest purchases a gift card from your restaurant is a potential customer. They are investing in your brand with that upfront purchase, right? and they're buying that because they obviously like your restaurant. So it easily ties into loyalty. So by converting them to a loyalty customer, you get their attention, you drive the business when you want to drive it, you further engage them with your business. And then the third piece of that three-legged stool is customer voice, which allows you to capture feedback from your loyal customers or through the receipt functionality like we talked about. But what does that do for you? And it helps you improve your business probably in two ways, by improving your bottom line, but also improving the longevity of your business by taking that feedback and really analyzing it and using the good stuff and taking the stuff that may not be great and maybe making some changes so that you're around for a long time, and again, you're getting these people to come back, which contributes to your bottom line, okay? So Bob, Pat, would you go ahead and flip? Okay, so what's it do? It increases brand recognition and customer loyalty, enables immediate notifications of service issues, and that's through our customer voice solution, and then provides insight into the profit impact of satisfied and unsatisfied guests, which is exactly what Shaughnessy just spoke about with customer voice to you. Okay? Go ahead and flip, Pat. There you go. So how does it benefit your guests? Go ahead and flip. It, number one, rewards them for their loyalty. And, you know, there are so many loyalty programs out there today, whether you're getting hotel points or you're getting airline points. And the restaurant industry, obviously, that's been a huge trend that's happened over the last several years. But people like to get something for coming in. And really, you want to offer something that is impactful for them. But it's just the fact that they're getting something. And Shaughnessy had mentioned earlier about DSW. I'm the same thing when I get points for Ulta or Kohl's or whatever. I see that reward and it makes me go back. It makes me go in there even quicker. So I return more often to locations that I get loyalty. I may love your restaurant. If you don't have a loyalty program, I'll still come. However, it really keeps your brand in front of me so that I'm choosing your restaurant more often than the competition. And then the third thing is it allows them to conveniently interact with your restaurant. And again, that is, we go back to the whole customer voice thing. People most of the time don't like conflict. So instead of telling you what they thought of their visit, they just don't come back. But this gives them that outlet to be able to, tell you about their experience in a nonchalant way, and then gives you the ability to really see what's going on, and then again contact the customer and handle it one-on-one versus them feeling like they're causing conflict in the restaurant. Okay, go ahead and flip, Pat. Okay, so here are some examples. The next couple slides are some case studies, and we'll send these out along with the presentation. But here's just some things. Tom and Eddie's, this is a restaurant group out of Chicago. They've identified more than $11,000 of potential business at risk in less than 90 days. This goes back to the customer voice piece of the lifetime value of a customer. And when a customer rates you 6 or below, that means that they didn't have a great experience. This allows you to go in and look at those customers and actually contact them because you have collected their information through their loyalty. And find out what you can do to bring that customer back in. Maybe it was the service. Maybe they didn't like a particular item, or things were just off in your restaurant that night. But it gives you the opportunity to identify that risk and bring them back in, and that's exactly what Tom and Eddie's was able to do. Also, it helped them create a new marketing channel, resulting in $8,280 of additional sales in the first 90 days. One way that probably attributed to this was, when the customer rates you a 9 or 10, we say share this with your friends. And I don't know too many people in this day and age who aren't using social media. So Facebook, Twitter, email, and I believe LinkedIn is the other piece of that. They've got several ways to share this data and allow their friends to see where they've been. And a lot of times that's what people do. They go off of recommendations from other people as to where they want to visit. So there you go with Tom and Eddie's $8,280 of additional sales. Okay, Pat? And here is a quote from the VP of Operations from Tom and Eddie's. People don't know how good your customer service is until you make a mistake. It's more expensive to attract a new customer versus keeping an existing one. Every day we are keeping customers that we never knew were dissatisfied in the past. And I think that we've heard this over and over, that how much harder it is to get a new customer than it is to keep an existing one. Okay, Pat, go and flip. Here's another example, another case study, and again, we'll share these with you. McLuhan's grows their loyalty program on an average of 1,000 members annually. Wow, that's huge. Increases revenues from loyalty program 8.8% annually, and is able to manage multiple loyalty programs and promotions from a single location. As Shaughnessy touched on with loyalty, you know, there are a lot of different layers that you can put into this. You know, as consultants to you, you know, we typically say you want to put together a program that is easy for the consumer to understand and know, you know, where they're at and getting their rewards. But it does allow you to do several things. You know, someone might want to do a beer tour. Another one wants to do points. Well, you can run different programs simultaneously through our loyalty program. Okay, flip. And then another quote from the Director of Operations for McLuhan Management. Using NCR Aloha Loyalty, our net revenue of purchases from Premier Club members has increased 8.8% annually for the past 3 years. And we are on track to have more than $1 million in revenue from loyalty club purchases. Just to give you a little bit of information on Premier, what that means, or McLuhan's. McLuhan's actually charges for their loyalty program. And what it does is it allows people to get preferred seating along with the loyalty offerings that McLuhan's offers. So that's what he's referring to when he talks about Premier Club. Okay, flip. Just one more. Four Corners Tavern Group enables immediate feedback and response to customers with negative, neutral, or positive experiences. You know, by getting that information in real time, it allows you to have one-on-one interaction with that customer to be able to, you know, possibly make that situation better. You know, because regardless if you offer them something to come back or you apologize, they still came in, paid for their dinner, was looking forward to a great experience. But that one-on-one, whether it's your manager or whoever you have assigned to run this for you, that person can touch base and give that customer a feeling like, hey, I'm important. Someone reached out to me because they understood that I had a bad experience. So am I willing to give them a second chance? Absolutely, because I feel special because someone reached out to me, right? It also provides a condensed view of all customer feedback from management and corporate office, which is the portal that we talked about, as well as the daily email summary, and gives the ability to drill down with employees into specific situations that impact customer experience. So I mentioned this a little bit earlier. There's a server performance report that actually breaks out server and their surveys that are tagged to them, and you can just kind of review to see, you know, is it the server or was it an off night that the food wasn't good? Just allows you to really look to make sure that your sales force, who are your servers, are actually representing your restaurant in the way that is going to continue to bring customers, repeat customers into your restaurant. Okay? Go ahead and flip, Pat. Okay, and again, just another real quick one here. I would recommend this product because of its two-way communication. Yelp and online reviews, I talked about this a few minutes ago, don't give the bar and management a chance to respond and engage disappointed guests. If our loyalty members can feel confident that someone is listening and someone cares, it will strengthen the bond and trust that our customers have with us. And this was obviously Ryan Indovina from Four Corners Tavern Group, a quote from him. So, okay, Pat? So, you know, what can you expect in return? And, you know, this information basically comes from the white papers that we've done in the studies. But customers who use gift cards on average spend 65% more than the store value card amount. And the thing about gift cards is typically you're not discounting them. So they're investing in your business, and you're waiting for them to come back in and spend the money that they paid you already, and then on average they're spending 65% more. Restaurants with a loyalty program see a 4 to 5% lift in total sales. I do have to mention, though, that we can set up a great loyalty program for you. An important piece of that, a loyalty program being successful, is the engagement of your staff. So, it's thinking about both sides of it, thinking about, hey, what can we do to really make an impact and get these customers coming back in? And number two, how do we get our staff to talk about this every time they engage with a guest? And that is where you'll see the 4 to 5% lift in total sales. And then a 5% improvement in customer retention can increase in profits by 25 to 125%. Again, this information is coming from the National Restaurant Association and several other types of companies such as that provide feedback that we can then pass along to you. So lastly, what I wanted to say was, let's work together to determine an ROI that is specific to your restaurant's operation. So today's presentation was a high-level overview of what Aloha's marketing solution can offer your business to help you engage your customers. If you are interested in speaking about specifics of how this would work for your business, please contact either Pat Solom at RDS. Pat's email address is psolum, S-O-L-U-M, at rdspos.com, or your local RDS office, and we can set a time to review, one-on-one a solution that'll work for you. Again, there are a lot of options here, but there's things to take into consideration on your restaurant and your profit margins and what you're really looking to drive. So, okay, and I think that's it for me. Pat, anything that you want to add?
I guess in closing, I would like to open up the floor to questions if anybody has any. I thought that was a pretty good overview of the solution, but if you have a question, please go ahead and hit the little raise your hand icon on the webinar bar, and I will unmute you.
Here are just some other thoughts, too. And Shaughnessy, Shaughnessy, you may want to add in on some of the offerings that we're offering today, too, so if no one has any questions.
Absolutely. If Pat can go to the next slide so everybody can see it while I'm talking about it. But I think we have, as a kind of a thank you gift for attending the webinar, we have two things that we're extending. One is what we call a customer voice reveal. So if this is a product that's of interest to you and you have our existing loyalty plan in place, we can do a quick reveal, which basically is a slimmed down version of customer voice. We send out an email blast once, and then we just see what comes in. I've done a couple of these, and it can be extremely telling, but it does give you the chance as an operator to get a little taste of what the product can do and what your customers are thinking, and maybe have pent up some feedback, positive or constructive. And then the second thing is a complimentary 30-day trial of our POS real-time product, which is a real-time reporting tool on your mobile device, both iOS, Android capable. For anybody on the call that's not currently using that and would like to give it a try, we can set that up as well. And we would go, Pat, get with Pat on that, and we can follow up.
You bet. Okay. Give one more opportunity here for questions. Looks like we don't have any at this time. You can obviously email or contact your RDS sales representative with any questions you have, or you can email myself, psolom@rdspos.com, and I'll make sure those get over to the right person. With that, I just want to thank everybody for attending. Thank our partners at NCR for the great presentation today, and looking forward to our next installment of this coming up here in the next month or so. Thank you.